what's going on today is we've had a nice morning, done cardio, eaten once. We're going to eat another meal now, second meal. She's eating a donut. I'm not even hungry. Listen, that only looks crap. Don't they look crap? They don't even look good. I'm not even in the mood for donuts. I'm eating 8 meals a day right now. There's no room. So, yeah, so we're going to have meal 2. And then we're going to go to the gym and we're going to do some hamstrings and some calves, which I'm kind of looking forward to because it doesn't sound excessive. You know when you're not like a little bit tired and you're like, I've only got to do hamstrings and calves. That's quite nice. So, yeah, we are, oh God, we're like 13 weeks out. 13 and a bit, 13 days too, something like that, from Alicante Pro.
No, I'm not going, so I don't keep counting.
I didn't invite her. I didn't invite Yannicka because I like going with the lads. So there's something I might as well share with the channel. I'm a little bit funny of having my women at the shows. My women.
Do you have more than one?
I've got like 20 women. No, but I don't perform as well when I know that my girlfriend's in the audience. Bad, probably, but it's just always been that case. So it's probably going to be a little lads trip, which I know the lads are loving. Chris, loving that? Yeah? So, yeah, we've got like 13 weeks. Everything's really good so far. This week, what we've done, Patrick's literally just adjusted the diet by, quite simply, I'm still on my off-season diet, which is a lot of food, but he's sprinkled in lower days, like 3 this week. So basically calories over the course of the week are going to be lower than usual. So it's a really simple approach. It's not how I normally do it, because normally I would just pull calories down for the whole week. But we're doing it now that we've got basically carb cycling occurring. So it's really good. So today's a high day, which is always long. I'm going to be up till really late at night because getting the meals in is a nightmare. But we only have to... The good thing about that is that I'm not ever in a rush because obviously I have the keys to the gym. So if tomorrow I wake up later, I wake up later. It is what it is. And if time changes, it changes. I'm not on a strict schedule. So benefits of being a pro bodybuilder. Couldn't do this in the amateur days, so really grateful for that. So yeah, we're going to kick up some, knock up some rice and I think chicken I've got now. Rice, chicken and broccoli with some olive oil. And then we're going to, shortly after that, prepare some stuff for the gym and get going. I like that. We've changed in here actually. Have you noticed any changes? There's less stuff on the shelf.
Oh yeah, there's less stuff there.
So now what we've done is we've put these up here.
So this has turned into a house tour now.
It's a house tour now. So we've put her, what do you call this, Yannicka? Yannicka? Mm-hmm. What is this called? A Masters.
It is a Masters.
So there's a Masters on the wall. And then there's my First Flex magazine cover on the wall as well. So not quite a Masters, but it'll do. It'll do. That actually looks nice and golden. Jasmine rice. 450 grams for the day. So there's 3 meals, so 3 meals of 150 grams. So that's like that's like over 100 grams of carbs per meal in those meals. So I told you, Patrick has me eating a lot. I need some vegetables. Only posh broccoli around here. The lazy way to cook. Throw that in there. Bit of water. Microwave.
It's not too bad.
13 weeks.
That breath. Yeah, 13 weeks. 13 weeks. Pound. So, I'm going to try something. Let me just see something. It smells of broccoli in here now. If 13 weeks and I reckon I'll lose probably about 20 pounds. Maybe a bit more. I don't know. See. 25 pounds, 30 pounds. So if I lose 30 pounds, that's it, I'll be happy. We'll see.
What, 270 on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't fucking about, bruv. We'll see. We'll see what Patrick can pull off. No numbers yet, but let's. If I am 270 on stage, if I am, then I will give someone a free tub of grunt. One of you, someone, just at random, someone who's subscribed to the channel. I will literally just put you on my Instagram and say this is coming your way. How about that? So you got to wait like fucking 14 weeks, but it's still good. This is a trick. We'll probably do need a spoon as well. I would absolutely recommend everybody gets a rice cooker because, for example, today I need 450 grams of rice over 3 meals. I've just cooked 450 grams and I just take 1/3 at a time. It's done. It's easy. So you just look in there and you say, I need 1/3 of that. See what Big Steve has to say.
That is perfect. I'll see you then, bro. And say hello to Chris.
Hey! Big Steve. Big up. Let's cover this, yeah? The geezer's over, the geezer's about 100 kilo.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's only because he's training with someone...
So 220 pounds in America.
He's training with someone who's 136 kilos. Like, he's not a small guy and he's pretty strong. So yeah, go easy on the brother. Or when he's like, in a year's time when he's like 300 pounds, he's coming after you. No, he's a good guy. Very good guy. Trains hard. I've always said this about training partners. You don't have to be the strongest, you don't have to be the biggest, you have to want it the most. You've got to be in there and you've got to be passionate about the gym. Because a big heart goes much further than someone who hasn't got that desire and that fire. So, okay, I'm gonna crap off. I oven cook because I'm lazy. It's not. I'm aware. I'm very aware. This is another thing about the channel. Yeah, like if you comment below like how to cook and stuff, you will never get my attention because the reason I cook the way I do is because it's time efficient. I've done all the early bodybuilding bullshit where you're like, oh, let's try and jazz up the food. Let's try and make it really nice. Seeing as I'm a bodybuilder and I eat 7 times a day, let's try and make every meal really good. I'm past that now. I'm literally just like, what's going to cook the most chicken breasts in the least amount of time without me having to watch it? So I've done the air fryer, I've done the barbecue, I've done the grilling. Just put it in the oven, do that, it's all going to go down the same hole. Rice cookers, I don't have to watch the rice. Microwave the broccoli so I don't have to watch the broccoli. And get the job done without any stress. I get it on my Instagram all the time, people saying, why'd you cook your oats like that? Like, you should do this. And I'm like, oh, I've done that, and I've done this, and I've done that. I've boiled, I've brewed, I've burnt. Leave me alone! Yeah, not complaining. You need to get an even consistency of the three ingredients.
But you do use a lot of salt for flavour.
I do use a lot of salt, you see now actually. Always. Again, flavour but also for the health benefits. So yeah, I use about 10 or so grinds. But I'm also a massive fan of pepper as well. I think if you don't use pepper, shame on you. Because pepper really does improve a meal by 20%. Do you agree?
I do. Always do salt and pepper.
If you salt and pepper well, you don't need condiments. Like you don't need sauces and stuff. I find if I've got a good salt, a good tasting salt, and a good quality pepper, then there's no need for ketchup, there's no need for Nando sauce, any of that stuff. Which really for bodybuilding is better because it means you're not getting any excess calories from sauces. Plus, you know, there's a lot of these sauces out there that are like 0 calorie and stuff. And yeah, I've been guilty of trying them and using them. And yeah, some of them are nice, but they definitely wreak havoc on your stomach. If you're going to have a sauce, have the real one, like the real name. Don't get sugar-free stuff, because all those sweeteners and that, man, that's where I was getting a lot of bloating. I came off of all that kind of food after this last prep, and my stomach feels so much better now. Like, don't get me wrong, it'll take you probably like 6 to 8 weeks before your stomach goes back to normal. But once you're there and you keep on top of it, you'll notice that you feel a lot better. My stomach feels extremely flat today for me. It probably looks massive on the camera, but it was like that, so it's an improvement. Right, probably going to sit in the garden actually, if it's not pissing down the rain. Are you happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like potato when you've got the oil in it, because you don't like when you get potato, you put butter in it. You got the carb and the butter.
Yeah.
If you have oil in your rice, it tastes very similar. It's really nice. So like if you're not on a strict plan and you can afford to have a little bit of fats in your meal, put a bit of olive oil in your rice with some veg. It's amazing. Even with the veg in it as well, and that sounds strange, but it's almost like bubbling squeaky. Because you've got veg, oil, carb. Trust me. I'm not crazy. I had someone on the channel ask if I tried basmati rice. I just laughed. Because I just thought...
Have you tried basmati?
Yeah, I just thought like it's rare. And no disrespect, I was just like... been eating basmati rice since I was about 10. I was like, oh shit. And I thought, like, I'm eating jasmine rice here, which is probably rarer than basmati. Have you tried basmati? we were discussing earlier, weren't we? Like, I feel like I've had a forced off season that I wouldn't have taken. I was dieting at the beginning, wasn't I? So back in whatever month it was, I was all guns blazing for a show, and really it would have led to probably a very similar result as always, which is, you know, second tier pro. I'm trying to be a first tier pro. So lockdown has been just basically a kind of sheltered experiment of an off season, isn't it? It's been like I've been in a cage being fed and like building something while everyone else is unable to, or most people, and I've kind of liked that and thrived off that. I thought, fuck it, let's create a beast while everyone else is locked down. So really I was just motivated for it because I kind of loved trying to jump ahead. Like my attitude's like, if I can, why step ahead if I can leap ahead? You know, whether it reflects that, I don't know if it will, but the mentality was always that. The mentality was, I'm going in the gym today and I'm going to absolutely blast it because no one else can. Because let's be honest now, like the main goal for any bodybuilder is to be the best, and yeah, you can respect your peers, but you want to shit on them at the same time, don't you? So, you know, I've been beat by many a man, and do you think he feels sorry for me? No, of course he don't fucking feel sorry for me. So my mental attitude needs to be that as well. My mental attitude needs to be like, yeah, I like you, I'm honoured to share the stage with you, but I'm going to crush you. Got to get a bit more of that aggression behind me, a little bit more of that belief, and I've always been told that by some really smart people that have done well in this, that you're a little bit too kind at times, James. So, you know, you can be kind, but you can also be a killer. So let's be a killer.
You got to bring that attitude that you bring to the sets in the gym to the stage. Absolutely.
And I have to understand it's either them eating or me. You know, if we're fighting over that last piece of the buffalo there, dead on the dunes, the vultures are coming, and there's me and a couple of other hyenas. Which hyena's getting the most fill? Fucking better be me, mate. So, king of the pack. That's the goal, king of the pack. And the thing is, I plan to, once I do become that, is to not lose that. I plan to get there, and I plan to just fight off all the contenders. So I believe I'll get to that point where I'm ahead, and I think once I'm there, I'll be able to sustain it because of the hunger. So the hunger's real. Hunger's real. It's the pre before the pre. It's cluster bomb and some grunt. The big grunt. Look how big my grunt is. That's a big grunt, isn't it? Luke used to have the big grunt. Do you remember? No one else gets this one. It's a special grunt. It's a grunt I can actually fit my hand in. So yeah, I have this. This is kind of like essentially a meal, because I'll have 50 grams of cluster bomb. I'll have a couple of scoops of grunt, and then I'll have a banana as well. So that's like a good 70 grams of carbs or so before training. So you could actually call that a meal. It's just an off-season kind of thing, way to get additional calories in, but nothing that sits too heavy before training.
Can you sit down there?
You can.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now don't be greedy.
You have to wait.
Pour?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't you clever?
So the cat can officially do pour. So that's an update since last time.
That's all that come out of lockdown.
So it came out of lockdown. If it is, it's still good. He likes this. Right, I think that's it. We're off. We're leaving. Berg.
Okay.
I get to go in my car today. Belt. Straps. I don't need these, but they're in there. But yes, I need my straps because if we do RDLs. So I'm pretty much kitted out, to be fair. Obviously, I've got everything I need in here from the guys at Tuff Wraps and Redcon stuff, Tuff Wrap stuff. So I've got all the stuff. So yeah, anything really that I need. And always take my own clips to the gym. Always. Can't be doing them with crappy metal clips. And that's it. Nothing else needed. Bye bye car. Yeah. Yeah, Big Steve's in the gaff. How you doing, bruv? Oh, we're filming a film. Porno. No, I got keys. We're gonna go and train with Steve. Steve might want to do a porno, but I'm not down with that. We are in an abandoned warehouse. Lifeless. No, we're in King's Gym. There's no one in here. It's just me and Big Steve. He's eating his yogurt. He's laughing though. Look, he's fucking spilling it all over the gaff. Caught him off guard.
The Louis Moylan diet.
The Louis Moylan special. Yeah, we're in King's. We're in King's. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, we're in King's. I don't know how many times I can say that. Obviously, got it all to ourselves, luckily. Not for long. The news of the gym's opening in the next, 15 days has now been sprung upon us.
Yeah, 15 days.
So, part of me's happy, part of me's sad. Quite, been a bit of a privilege to have, like I said, like confinement, like a gym, a confined, it's almost been like a private dojo of gains where nobody's been able to get in the way of progress.
Play any music you want.
Any music you want. I can talk about anything I want, any subject matters, not feel the wrath. So, there's that, but then I have to consider everybody else tonight at the same time. So they'll be back in the gym. But what I will say, actually, this is why we're on this topic, is this is me being honest. With the gyms right now, I would say to many people, don't rush back in. If you've been doing quite good without, like if you've got a really good setup at home, and you're finally into a good groove, because the gyms aren't going to operate as normal for a few weeks yet. So if you're going to be frustrated by going to the gym and it not operating as normal, you might be better off sticking to what you're doing because you've got a good groove. If you're quite leisurely in your training and it's literally obviously it's important to you, but it's not like it has to be really strict, then by all means get back in the gym. But so that's what I'm trying to say, is that anyone that's really in need of having good amount of time in the gym, maybe hold off for a minute just for your own sake and keep doing what you're doing because you're doing well. So yeah. So anyway, we're going to hit some hamstrings today. That's what we're actually doing. This is the last few days now of doing this low volume training. So basically we've been doing 2 weeks of low volume just to get a little bit of recovery in before shit gets real. Shit getting real means obviously prep really kicks in. Next week, a lot of changes occur in terms of training. Goes back to our regular SST, and also like some of the supplements I'm taking get adjusted in order to suit that as well. So interesting times. 13 weeks out this weekend. Weights around 301. So it's a good spot. It's good. Like I say, today's not going to be nothing crazy, nothing killer. We will do what we have to do, but what's done over the next 12 or so weeks is going to really be what matters. Today matters, but it matters that we don't kill it, because the whole point is that sometimes pushing and pulling have to both be considered, and today is one of them days where we can come in and we can work hard, but we have to understand that we're not here to actually brutalise ourselves today. As much as I hate saying that, because I'm always like, training's about being gun-ho and being hardcore and intense. Realistically, there's only so many times you can beat your body up in a row without it being detrimental to your progress. So today is going to be a good session, but it won't be something that sees us dead. We're going to do calves because I need to do that. Steve needs to do them because I do them in the morning normally before cardio. But because I knew we were doing hamstrings today and it's not a massive workout, I thought I'd save it because it's a good chance for him to get his calves done, and because then he won't miss it because I'm in his. I'm in his ear, like you got to do calves. So this is a little bit different because what we're going to do on all the other exercises is like one set per an exercise because it's really low volume. But what we'll do on here, we'll probably do about just like four sets, just really straightforward. We'll get to a weight and then just repeat it 4 times. First hamstring exercise of the day is going to be seated curl. No particular reason, we're going to do a variety of curls today. Basically just got to give the hamstrings several exercises and give them a good workout. I'm not overly particular in like what order I do hamstrings. You know, I'm not like I'll do RDLs first or curls first. I just go with whatever feels good on the day. So today I like to do this first because my opinion is that I always like to do a nice braced exercise first, where I can just concentrate on lifting. Obviously, in a seated curl, all I have to worry about is contracting my hamstrings because I'm held in place, rather than doing all the other stuff where I have to concentrate too much. Hamstrings actually is an area that I'm trying to work on as well, so that's kind of why Patrick's given us you know, the day where we come in and do hamstrings on their own, just so there's a little bit more workload. Because typically I would have, back in the day, probably did maybe like 2 exercises for hamstrings after quads.
You did with quads.
Yeah, whereas now, like, we're giving them, you know, probably 4 or so exercises. So hopefully we'll see some results from that. We're moving now from the seat curl to the line curl. Still again just straight set. It's literally just one straight set. So the thing is, because we're pretty warm now, because we've done this already and done all our warm-ups on there, we're probably going to be close to our working straight away. So you can probably get on there. You might have one feeler, one little feeder set as such, but then you're pretty much ready to go. And that's why this goes so quick, because once you're warm on a curl, you're warm on a curl. So yeah, we'll just we'll get into this and do a good set of, well, just one set basically all out. The rep range typically is meant to be like 8 to 12, but certain pieces of equipment like this, for example, aren't heavy enough to do that. So I don't mind going a little bit over as long as I get to that point of exhaustion. I look reserved between sets, and I'm pretty chill between sets, but again, I've always said this as well, I don't feel the need to be aggressive throughout the whole workout. A lot of people are like, yeah, you've got to be in the zone with workout, and you know, each to their own. If you've got to be that way, you've got to be that way. I've never really found it necessary. I know when I'm out of breath because I'm fat fuck, but I know when the intensity is needed. It's just needed when I'm on there. So, and this will change in the diet because the ratio of aggression versus like that peacefulness sways in favour of aggression the closer I get to a show. I spend more time in the gym feeling volatile, and that's natural, but you don't want to be volatile all the time. You don't want to spend your entire off season in such a way, because by the time it comes to show prep, you're literally going to explode. And you have to take that into account as well, because it's about keeping the peace, relationships inside, outside the gym. If you're always in that negative mindset where you're aggressive and angry, it shows and it can rub off, and it can come home with you. So that's why I am the way I am at the minute. Once obviously business gets really fucking serious and it's a few weeks out and the countdown's on, I will be more, and it will make my home life a bit harder. But at the same time, I know when it's going to happen, and so does my partner. Therefore, we prepare for it. Because when you want to win, when you want to be the best, you've got to do some crazy shit. But take that into account. Don't think you've got to be like a raging bull year round. As long as you're lifting the weights and doing the job. We do 1 set line dumbbell curl now as well. The line dumbbell curl is different, don't get it twisted. It's not just a hamstring exercise. It does work the adductors as well, because you're forcing your knees together to keep the dumbbell in place. So it's a nice exercise to do. It's probably one of my favourite exercises actually for hamstrings. So we'll do that. And then I think we'll probably do some like glute bridges to tie in the hamstring and glute. So, you know, girly exercise, but it's still great for men as well. We can either do that on one of the Smiths or a free bar. So, yeah, again, it's just one working set on each. So this is going to be using the flat bench. You can do them on a decline, but I personally feel them just as much on a flat. Don't know why. Don't feel no different really. So yeah, we'll get 1 set of these done. Really out of breath. I think we'll finish on the single leg press. Okay. So we'll do that leg press today, the regular one. Single leg. You'll notice range is very limited on this. That's just because you're just purely trying to keep tension on one point. Alright, we're done. Gonna cycle for 5 minutes, cool down, get the fuck out of here, and then we're gonna go home and resume with the day. See you there. Scoop of isolate now, and then I'll give it like 10 minutes and I'll have the 2 scoops of the cluster bomb, and then 45 minutes to an hour after that is when I eat my next solid meal, which will be ground rice, or cream of rice rather, and some steak. So that's when we resume with the solid meals. So all around training, like I say, it's mostly liquid, just because of digestibility and how quick it is to consume, because to get 800 grams of carbs a day from solid food is a tough job. "20 minutes since I had that isolate, so we're just putting in a scoop of grunt and cluster bomb. I put the grunt in there not because it's aminos, to be fair, I just put it in there to flavour it. Never any harm in having too many aminos. Going to introduce you to you might see this man on the channel a few times in the future. This is this is like my stepdad. He's a big chap. He's gonna we'll do the old
excuse the
right there, big dog.
Excuse the dress.
So he clearly lifts weights.
He's out angling you here.
He fucking is. But he's an avid trainer. He don't look bad for 75.
So my journey started when I was about 40.
He was a late one.
And I remember James being a teenager training. I remember sitting in the armchair one day and he walked past me and I looked at him and thought, oh my God, he's just getting huge, I can't have this. I'm the man of the house, not him. So that was it. So I had a choice whether to get involved in what James does and take an interest in what he does to keep that relationship with him, because he was my stepson, and you know, I didn't raise him all the way up. It was only when he was about 13, 14 that I came along, and it was keeping interest in what he did. And what I found is that James was teaching me the weights in a garage, and I picked it up, got the courage to go into a gym, felt good about myself, felt much more confident.
Yeah.
And then started training with James for about a year and a half of all that, where we just used to go, and that's how it's all began.
So,
really. And
like that's a really good point, because the question that often gets asked to people like myself is this age too late? Is this age too late? I get like 30-year-olds saying, is it too late to start lifting weights or to want to look good? No.
There's
Like,
definitely
honestly.
not. The only thing you do get when you get older is you look at a 20-year-old who's quite big, not that kind of looking, but
Yeah.
I've got this thing about looking at the bodies and the females, and when I see the fitness, and what I see is the work that they put in. I don't see this fit person. I see, oh my God, look
Hours
at the
in the
arms,
gym.
look at the chest.
Yeah.
And so being older, I find that I won't be as sharp as them, as chiselled as them, but what I look at when I see other men my age is I'm so much better than them in what they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and some of the younger kids in the gym, I mean, I'm nowhere near as big as James, but they come up to me and say, oh, you're a big boy, how old are you, sort of thing, you know, and yeah.
So don't think
age is not,
it's not
about a boundary, is it?
No,
Or a
not
barrier.
at all.
It's not a barrier.
His progress since 40 to now is more than I've seen 20-year-olds to 30-year-olds. So take that in and do as you will with that. But it's very important to understand that.
Yeah.
He's a big lad.
Awesome, thank you.
He's had his moment. He's had his moment.
There you go. I'm going to leave the prison service now.
Let's do a weigh-in. He's guessing.
More actually.
Wait, no. Stick. Well, you've said a number.
128.
He thinks 128. Fucking child's play.
That's going to be
Convert it.
I can convert it. Pass my phone.
I'm 205 kilos.
I'll
Done
do it.
205 pounds at 100 kilos.
He's gonna guess. Let's see how close he is.
Right. So 225. 370.
What? 370?
370 kilos, I reckon.
Pounds, you mean?
Oh, pounds.
You're fucking off your tits.
Imagine that.
No.
370 kilos.
So what was it? It says 137. Point. 6
2.2.
times in pounds. Let's do it. Because I don't think it is exactly 2.2. 303.3.
No, that's got
Bruv, that's 303. Look like it ain't even heavy. I've got to put some more weight on. So yeah, 301 in the morning. So 2 pounds from. So we've trained with sweat, but we've eaten a few meals and maybe taken a couple of shits today. So yeah, so you're 2 pounds up maybe from this morning, which that's kind of an average for most
That's
people.
all right. You go to bed heavier than.
Yeah, and then you wake up and you're fucking light again. My next meal, I'm going to get it prepared before Big Chris leaves. It's not the cat. I won't be eating the cat. It's going to be. Can I have a packet of beef, Yannicka, please? So Yannicka's actually been really good. She's been to Sainsbury's. So I'm going to have some. He's going to be interested. Extra lean diced beef. 250 grams of that I'm going to have, and then I'm going to have some cream of rice. It is my friend Jordan's cream of rice, but you know, I'd rather buy his cream of rice than anyone else's. Salted caramel, so I have that and that. Oh, the cat's having a little stroke with Chris. So yeah, 250 grams of this, and then 150 grams of cream of rice. So it's a very low fat meal. There's only like 5 grams of fat per 100 grams in this extra lean. So yeah, that's it. Really simple meal. Right, guys, that is us coming to the end of today. We're very aware that you want to do a full day of eating at some point, so we will schedule that in. That involves Chris staying in the spare room, so we have to organise that. But that's, you know, quite a few hours of the day and what I get up to. So hopefully there's some good pointers there, and also some guidelines and maybe a little bit of understanding of how to structure your day. Also, obviously, there was a little bit of training in there, nothing too crazy, but just literally just trying to give you a little insight of what's going on. Again, I'm always going to say it, but I really do appreciate the views, and I do appreciate the interaction with the comments and stuff, because the comments are key and they're crucial in order for us to know what to do going forward. Because as much as I like to talk about anything and I enjoy things, it is nice to know what you guys want to hear. So just let us know, comment below, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, you know, let the family know, just get involved, and also keep sharing on Instagram those stories, because that's really cool, and I love that when you do that. Always love sharing your stories. So thanks again, guys. That is another day in the life of us, and I'll catch you next time for what we get up to next. So in the meantime, we'll come up with some plans, we'll interact, and we'll see what we can do.